So we don't believe that. We don't want to go for that. So let us. Okay, Pawan Singh, thank you, ma. So many days are there. Let me enter into the subject. Okay, shall we start the class? Okay, so now I'm going to discuss files in Python. Shall we start, guys? Yeah. Before entering into that, index I want to go for discussing. Index. First, we will start discussing about the index. It's our scenario in the class to be taken into consideration. In that, first point we are talking about what is the purpose of files? What is the purpose of files? First topic we will go for it. Next, we will talk about the another concept we are going to enter into definition of file. Definition of file. Definition of what? File. And before that, I would like to talk about types of applications in types of applications. There I'm going to talk about non-persistent applications, non-persistent applications, right? Second is called what? Persistent applications. Persistent applications. Two types of applications. One is non-persistent applications and second is persistent applications, right? Definition of file, we will take it. So next we are going to talk about after that types of operations on files. Operations on files. Operations on files. Next we are talking about types of files. Types of files. So in that I am going to talk about operations on the files. Write operation, write operation, write operations. Second is called what? Read operation. Read operations. Next we are entering into the another type of thing. Types of files. Text files, text files, and next is called binary files. Binary files. Text files and what? Binary files. That is second part of it. Next we are talking about file opening modes. File opening modes. File opening modes or syntax for opening the files. Syntax for opening the files. There we are talking about it by using open function, by using this is by using open function, by using with, this is another one, with open, by using with open. Next I'm talking about file opening modes. File opening modes. There I'm talking about R mode. Next is called what, R mode. Next is called a W mode. Next is called third is called what, A mode. Next fourth is called R plus, and next fifth is called a W plus. Next sixth is concerned A plus, seventh is concerned X mode. These are the complete modes. Anybody who take it, they will discuss about these two modes only, because they are very simple. Okay, but we will discuss almost everything. We will discuss everything we will discuss. Next we will talk about functions for writing the data to the function, writing the data to the function, writing the data to the files, writing the data to the files. Option A, write function. Second one is the write line. Next, functions for reading the data from the file. Functions for reading the data from the file. Reading. Functions for reading the data from the file. Option A, first one is called what? Read function. Next B is called what? Read line function. Next C is called read of number of characters. I will take this one, read number of char. Okay, read line. Next is called read line. Next is called read lines. Everything we will discuss. Read lines. Read lines. Next we are talking about various programming examples on this. Programming examples, students. Many examples I will taught. This is called level 1 programming in files. 2 levels. This is first level programming. Next if you come, one more concept is there. Pickling concept is there. Pickling and unpickling. Pickling and unpickling concepts. That is nothing but you can say it is also known as object serialization. Object serialization and what? Deserialization. Object serialization and deserialization. Okay. There I am talking about one new module will come. Pickle module we will discuss. Pickle module. Pickle module we will discuss. And then programming examples on this area. Programming examples on this area. It is an advanced part of this. Things. And there I will talk about in the same place OS module. I will talk about it. OS module. Predefined module called what? OS module. And then programming examples on this area. Programming module. This is called second level programming. This is the total index of my Python programming. Shall we start, students? Fine. And one more I forget to tell you. There I will tell you. Here or somewhere else or somewhere else. Random access file. Random access files in Python. There we are using how to access the data randomly. There is a function called a tell function. There is a function called a seek function. Tell function and a seek function. These are the things which I am going to discuss. And programming examples on each area. Okay, students, shall we start the discussion? Yeah. This is called index. So I hope my index is clear. I am going to talk about this file handling and stream handling. It will take 4 to 5 days. It will take. The complete concept will take to cover 4 to 5 days. So let us start with files or stream handling in Python. What is the need of this now? So I'm going to enter into this place. Yes. Come on, students. How simple it is. Now, dear students, the programs which you have discussed so far, what we used to do? The programs which we discussed so far, what we used to do? We used to read the data from the keyboard. Where is that keyboard data stored in? Where is that keyboard data stored in? Main memory. Objects. No doubt in that. Data stored in objects. Objects are there in where? Main memory of the computer. Fine. So with that objects which are there in the main memory, we used to process the data and we used to show the result on the console. On the monitor we used to display. That programming only we discussed. So far what we read the data from the keyboard is done by using which function? Input function. We processed with our business logic. Later that result shown on the console by using which function? Print function. That is what we did. We read the data. We processed our data based on our business logic and we displayed our data on the console by using print functions. That is called what? That type of programming is called persistent, non-persistent applications we can call. What they are? Non-persistent applications they are called. So now we are going to develop non-persistent application development. Means I will write something like this. Let me write a small diagram, students. Let me write a small diagram so that I can move to further. This is the main memory of the computer. So from the keyboard, we will enter the data. So from the keyboard, we will enter the data. So finally, this type of data, we are reading from the keyboard. We are reading from the keyboard. And the data stored in the where? Main memory of the computer. Main memory of the computer. That main memory data is processed. So how this data is stored? Now let me write a small diagrammatic representation here. Here I am writing data is reading. Data reading by using which function? Input function. There I am writing data reading. Coming from where? Keyboard. This is from keyboard. I am just writing from the basic level onwards. This data stored in where? Come on. Data stored in where? Main memory. I can write main memory in the form of what? In the form of what? Objects. In the form of objects. Data stored in main memory in the form of objects. Data stored in the form of objects in the form of main memory in the form of objects. We process the data. Process the data by using our business logic, and the results are shown in shown on what? Monitor. By using which function? By using which function, students? Print function. By using print function. So results will be shown. Results will be shown. Well, so the main memory data shown onto the monitor by using print functions. By using print functions. Well, by using print functions. Well, this type of applications are simply called as which applications? Non-persistent applications we can call. Which applications? Non-persistent applications we can call. Well, this type of applications are called what? Non-persistent applications we can call. Well, right, students. Let us coming to, this is called non-persistent applications. Well, now non-persistent meaning is, the meaning of persistent is storing the data permanently. Storing the data permanently. Persistent meaning I am talking about it. Non-persistent means what? Not storing permanently. How much important in real time to store the data permanently? You know, I hope so. Suppose banking transactions, you take it. How they will maintain the data? Permanently. You take any type of organizations. For every organization, for data analysis, for data processing, for taking effective decisions, for anything is concerned, they need to store the data permanently. So definitely they need some programming language, some concept is required to store our data permanently. That's why in C programming, we have a concept called files. C++ we have files. Java also files is there. Python also files is there. So if you have any knowledge on C language with the files concept, you might be knowing how much important it is. I don't know whether you have done C language files or not, I don't know. But C language contains files, C++ files, Java files, and Python files are there. Are you good at C language files? Good or not? One line answer I want. Good or not? Good or not good? Good or not good? Quickly I want the answer. Online students, both offline students and everybody. Boys, this side boys, good? Okay, good. Not good. Right? Not good. Boys, that side? Not good. Girls? Good or not good? Not good. Good. I know that. So not at all good. Not good at all. Okay. Okay, so is that Pavan Kalyan? I am from mechanical. No ma, mechanical also you have first year C language is there. So first year C language is there. So Ankit, one time is enough ma. One time is enough. One time enough means 100 times equal to that. Right. No problem. Okay. Suryan, 15 years gap in computer science. Okay. No problem. Suryan, I will ask at the end of my concept in files. So you will say, sir, not 15 years, sir. It is only 10 days gap. You will say. I will take up that. Okay. Venkatesh, no problem. Now I am going to give the conclusion. So I know that you are not good in C language. I know already because I've seen so many people. Even though C language is over, computer science students also I'm taking into no problem, Harsha. No problem. Don't worry about it. BCom background. Okay. No, don't worry. Don't worry. Okay. I'll take care of it. So irrespective of your background, in Python, I will make you so perfect in this, provided you need to attend the complete classes. Don't worry. Now I'm going to start the discussion. So you don't know anything about the files, or you learned files and then forget, and maybe because of programming knowledge is not there, you felt very difficult. Now our story is what? Data coming from where? In anywhere else from the keyboard to where? Main memory. Storing in the form of what? Objects. Processing it and so far displayed on the monitor by using which statement? Right. That is what we did so far. From today onwards, we don't want to process, we don't want to show our results in the monitor. Okay, let it be. You show the results on the monitor. No issue at all. No issues at all. You show the result on the monitor. No doubt in that. But I'm going to give you the clarity on results are shown on the monitor. Now the issue is what? I want to show my results into I want to keep my results permanently. Because today, what is the sales made in the supermarket? It is useful to you at the end of the day. How many sales made? What is the profit received? How much is the investment made? Am I correct? What is the sales made? How much investment we made? What is the profit gained? So that type of analysis, if I want, I need to store my data permanently or not. So not only for that, every organization compulsory requires data. On the basis of data only, we can make the effective decisions. That's why students, I'm going to give you a conclusion. Whatever the data you have, such a type of data, I want to store permanently. I want to store permanently. Now I'm going to show the results of our program. I want to store permanently. Sir, where do you store permanently? Generally in our programming of any language or any concern in the software industry, to store the data permanently, there are two approaches are there actually. How many approaches are there? Two approaches are there actually. Two approaches are available. What is the first approach? What is the first approach? By using the concept of what? Files. One more approach is by using the concept of what? Database. One is by using the concept of what? Files. One more is by using the concept of what? Database softwares. It's a very, very, very important. If you don't make your laptops ready with a database, I can't do anything else. And don't wait for sir will explain the database softwares. I am not going to discuss Oracle database here because Oracle is a separate course. You need to know Oracle. First beginning I am saying, to understand the Python, I am writing which program? Python program. I am writing a Python program here, which is communicating with what? Files. I am writing a Python program, which is communicating with what? Oracle database. It is one of the Oracle database. One example of database software. One more is called what? MySQL. MySQL. I can say one database, and I am telling two databases here to communication with. After that, you will understand how to communicate with any database with left and left finger. Are you able to understand? So, I am not going to explain Oracle. Oracle is not a part of my Python. I am saying how a Python program can communicate with Oracle. How a Python program can communicate with MySQL. So, you should have the knowledge of what? Database softwares. Briefly, I am going to explain, but I am not going to discuss database softwares in the Python class. Python is different, database course is different. So how many ways are there to store my data permanently? Two ways are there. One is by using files, one more by using database software. From the file or database software, I can read the data also. I can read the data also. Example, when you go to a bank, you want to get your banking information to get it. You will say your account number, and that account number will be getting from the where? Permanent place. Permanently you have saved your data or not? How many ways are there to store your data permanently? Two ways. One is by using files, one more is by using, right. Files are having some 4 to 5 drawbacks are there. That's why we always prefer to go for what? Database softwares. So dear students, I'm going to give a conclusion. Which programming I'm going to write it? I'm going to write it when my Python program is interacting with the files or what? Database software. I'm going to give you the clarity on this area. I'm going to store my data either in the form of files or in the form of database. I'm going to give you some sort of thing here. This is known as which type of applications? Persistent applications we can call. Which applications we can call? Persistent applications we can call. Tell me, what are we doing in persistent applications? Carefully understand. We get the data from where? Come on quickly. We get the data from where? Keyboard. Into where? Main memory. We process the data and results are ready in which memory? Main memory. Such a type of results where I am going to store? Such a type of results where I am going to store? Such a type of applications are known as what? Good. Suppose you take Aadhaar card number, you take it. Aadhaar card number. You want to change your Aadhaar card details. Have to get your original Aadhaar card details or not? From where I am going to get it? From where I am going to get it? From file or from where? And I will modify in the main memory. I will put the modified details once again into the file or database or not? What is this information is called? I can read the data. I can write the data to the file or database. So what is that application is called? Persistent. What is the meaning of persistent? Storing the data permanently. So irrespective of your background, I am talking from the 0 level onwards. Non-persistent applications and persistent application. The ATM application I said in the previous class is called what? Non-persistent. Because whose results are available only in the main memory. As long as the application is available, that is available. Once application is closed, my results also gone. Known as what? Non-persistent. Persistent means the moment when I do the transaction, whose transaction details are stored permanently either in the form of file or in the form of database. So how many types of applications? Two types. One is non-persistent applications. Good. So in what is the meaning of persistency? To store the data permanently. So dear students who are in online, did you understand? Did you understand all the students? Please confirm it once more. Right? Quickly. Yeah, Suryan, listen very carefully, mom. So you need to get very perfection in the class. Good. Now I'm going to enter into the concept of it. Let us coming to the first topic. I will write it. What is the use of files? They will ask you. What is the use of files? What is the use of files? To store the data. Good. The purpose of files. First topic purpose I will write it. What is the purpose of exception handling? To build robust applications. Robust means what? Strong. In giving user-friendly error message when somebody does the wrong things. Right. The purpose of files concept. The purpose of files concept is that to store the data permanently in the form of what? Files. In the form of to store the data permanently. That's it. To store the data permanently. Right? The process of storing I'm writing storing the data permanently is known as is known as, what is that? Persistency. What is it? Persistency. Permanent storing of the data is called what? Persistency we can call. Persistency, spelling mistake, persistency, right? Persistency we can call. Fine, keep it aside. Now I am going to start with this. Next after that I am going to start. Next after that I am going to write a small sentence. I just want to finish it off. Now I am going to write it. In the context of files, in the context of files, I'm going to write it. In the context of files, we can develop, or we can develop two types of applications. Two types of applications. Two types of applications. What are those applications? They are, what is the first application I'm going to say? Come on, quickly. Non-persistent applications. Non-persistency applications. Second one is called what? Persistent applications. Persistent applications we can call. Applications. We can call it as non-persistent applications. And next is called what? Persistent applications we can call. What do you mean by non-persistent applications? I'm going to give you here. In non-persistent applications development, in non-persistent application development, what is happening? In non-persistent application development, we accept the data. We accept the data from where? Keyboard. We accept the data from keyboard. Come on. Stores in where? Stores in main memory. Stores in main memory. I'll write stores in main memory in the form of objects. In the form of objects. Next is called what? Process the data and shown the result. Shown the result on the console. Shown the result on the console. Shown the result on the console. Right? See that in non-persistency application development, we accept the data from keyboard, stores in main memory in the form of objects, and process the data and shown the result on the console. Well, if we whatever the results which are available, the results which are available, the results which are available in the main memory, is the results which are available in the main memory are temporary or permanent? Temporary. As long as power is on, data will be available. Once the power is off, data will be lost. Results are what? The results which are available in main memory are temporary. So is the data in real organization temporary or permanent? Temporary or permanent? Supposed to be permanent, but the results are by default what? Temporary. So now I am going to say, to store the results of any programming language, we have two approaches. They are by using files. Second one is what? By using database softwares. There are two ways are there to store the data permanently. To store the results of any programming language permanently, we have two approaches. They are, one is by using what? Files. Second one is by using database softwares. So first our heading is what? By using files. Are you able to understand? Now, before going to that, one more point I want to write it here. One is in the case of non-persistence is done. In the case of persistency application development, what is happening? I am going to write it. In the case of what? In persistent application development. In persistent application development, what is happening? In persistent application development, we accept the data from keyboard, process the data, and results are stored in. We accept the data from the keyboard, stored in main memory in the form of objects, process the data, and whose results are stored permanently, whose results are stored permanently. Are you understanding this? Right. To store the results of any programming language permanently, how many approaches are there? Two approaches are there. What is that? By using what? Files. One more is by using, right, database. First topic is by using files. Same thing we are achieving the persistency by using what? Database softwares. Why database softwares we are going? Because there are some drawbacks are present in files. That's why we are going for what? By using database softwares we are going. Are you following, students? So how many types of applications are there? Two types. One is a non-persistency. One more is, yes, in non-persistent application development, we accept the data from the keyboard, stored in main memory, we process it and show the result in the main memory on the console itself. That data is called what? Temporary. In persistent application development, we accept the data from the keyboard, store it in main memory in the form of object, process the data, and whose results are stored permanently. This is the most important word. And to store the results permanently, in any programming language, we have two approaches. One is by using what? One more by using. So programming using files and programming by using database software using Python is called what? Persistent application development. Okay, one important note I will write that. Note that if we write any Python program, if we write any Python programming by using what? Files and what? Database software. If we write by using files and database softwares if we write any Python programming by using files and database software, then such a type of applications or comes under what? Come on, students. Persistent applications we can call. And don't answer like this. What is meant by persistent applications means? Don't tell. If I write a Python programming which can communicate with files and database concepts is called persistent. No. Persistent applications, I already said you the definition. In persistent application development, we get the data from keyboard compulsory. We store it in main memory. We process it. Whose results are stored in permanently. So how many ways are there to store the data permanently? Two ways. Files and, yes, in Python programming, note that in a Python programming, if by using files, by using database softwares with the programming of Python, if I write it, such program comes under the example of what? Comes under the example of persistent applications. Okay, na? A Python program with files, a Python program with a database is an example of persistent applications. Persistent applications means storing the results of our Python program into the place permanently. How many places are there to store the data permanently? Two places. One is by using, one more by using fixed, that is called. Are you okay, students? And before entering into the files now, I would like to confirm from everybody two types of applications, non-persistent and persistent. Students who are in the online, can you please confirm students once? Is my description is clear up to here? Is my description is clear up to here? Now I'm entering into the concept called with files, persistent application development by using files. I will go for it. Okay, persistent application development with the files I'm going to introduce. Okay, now I'm going to start with a most important thing. Fine. So I'm going to give you here persistent application development by using Python. Persistent application development by using Python. I'm going to discuss. Good. So coming to the Ankita, I already told you, ma. Again and again, don't post the same doubt. Still, how many days is there to complete Python course? Don't send that. I will tell you when it will be completed. So tomorrow, if you want to complete, you stop by yourself attending the classes. So it is completed. Stop attending by yourself tomorrow itself. So Python course is completed. Okay. Now I said I'm discussing in detail. It will not complete as you are expecting tomorrow, day after tomorrow, like that. Until I explain everything, I cannot say that my course is completed. So you look for a deep knowledge from my class. Don't look for up and downs. So it's my time waste if you say such type of things in my class. Please let me discuss deep subject in the class. Okay, right, fine. So you already asked us 1 week back. Again, you are asking the same thing. So 1 week back you asked, I told exceptionally, and one topic is over. So many topics are there, I need to complete. Don't ask again and again. I will tell myself only in the next month it is completed or something like that. You don't ask again and again. Let me discuss in deep of the subject. Fine. So BTech 4 years completed. BTech 4 years completed. Did you get any job? Did you get any job? Nothing is there. So don't get something like that in our class. Now, as far as the Oracle is concerned, you make your Oracle laptop ready. Installation process, everything you take care by yourself. I am not going to teach a database course here. It is not a database course. I am a Python programming teaching. Oracle, you install any version you install, 11G, 12C, whatever the version, 19C, whatever version you have. Whatever it is, you install by yourself, make it ready. MySQL also make it ready. You install MySQL any version. You install any version, I said. Both of them you try to install, make your laptops ready. After I set my programming of Python with database, if you say that I don't have laptops or I don't, can you tell me the installation process of Oracle? I am not going to teach any Oracle installation process and all. Well, my Python course is different, that is different. So for that again, I have to waste 1 hour of time for installation process. I don't want to go for it. Please install these things with the help of somebody, or if you know that, you install and make your laptops ready. Right, SQL only I am saying. Right. Let us come back to the persistent application development by using Python. Okay. So let us go to the next step. In this application development, persistent applications development by using Python, in 2 ways we can do, by using files and database. Now I am going to write it. Files is one of the language independent topic. Independent topic means what? Independent topic means what? Because it is available in C language, C++, Java, .NET, in every programming language, files concept is there. That's why files concept is one of the programming language independent concept, where where we can store the data, permanently, So in today's course, we are talking about Python language communicating with files. So the communication between Python and then files comes under persistent application development only. So the communication between, so far what we did, only one program we executed. Next we gone for what? Python to Python communication, we went modules concept. And we went for what? Python program communication with any of the environments, Python environment, IDE environment, anywhere else, we achieved it with packages. Today we are going to achieve what? With heterogeneous component I am going to introduce. Python programming communicating with some other component totally. That is called files. Next other component is called a database also. So Python is having extensible services there. Extensible service means it can provide the services to communicate with other languages also, other database products also. So that's what the communication between what? Python program and what? Files comes under development of what? Which applications? Persistent application development. Persistent application development. I hope you are understanding what is an example of persistent application development. The communication between Python program and files comes under the development of persistent application. Straightforward, directly I'm going for definition of files. Definition of what? Files I'm going to take. Definition of files I'm going to discuss. What is the definition of files and persistent applications I'm going? Definition of files or persistent application I'm going to discuss. Let us coming to the discussion once again. Assume, as I discussed already, this is my main memory of the computer. This is the main memory of the computer. This is called main memory. Well, main memory. In the main memory, I got the data from somewhere else from the keyboard. That is something like this. What is my data having here? What is my data here I am having? The data is called 10, something like ROM, and 45.67. 45.56 for example. What is this data called? LST. What is this data called? LST. Fine. LST. This is the data called LST. Well, where is this object is present? Main memory. Is it persistent or non-persistent? Quickly. Non-persistent it is called. It is called non-persistent. Why non-persistent? As long as power is on, as long as program is active, this data will present. Once the power is on or once the program is deactivated, program data will be lost. Such a type of data I want to store permanently. Where can I store it? Files. Simple ma. Here you see, this is the data I typed in the notepad. So tomorrow I want this information. Today what I will do? Save. When I save it, go to the place, file, and then save. It is asking what name? File name it is asking. That means anything you want to save, compulsory what you need to give? File name. What is the file name? It is, first of all, file names are residing in where? Hard disk. File names are residing in hard disk, C drive, D drive, E drive, etc. Hard disk. What is the file name? First of all, it is the named location. It is one of the named location in the secondary memory. Hard disk is nothing but which memory? Secondary memory. Hard disk is nothing but secondary memory. Main memory is nothing but RAM, RAM. RAM is the hardware component acting as main memory. Hard disk is one of the secondary physical device which you can touch and feel. It is known as what? Secondary memory. Did you understand? So in hard disk, our data stored in the form of which name? File name. No confusion at all. Like that, if I move forward, this data I want to store permanently. To store this data permanently, I would like to give you one small awareness, students. Please keep in mind, this is my data. This is my data. Having here, which memory? Secondary memory. Secondary memory, which is called what? Hard disk. Which is called hard disk. Secondary memory, this is called. Secondary memory, this is called. Hard disk, this is called. Inside of that, in the secondary memory, I want to store my data permanently. I want to store my data permanently. I want to store my data permanently. To store my data permanently, what is required? Some file name to be taken. What is my file name? For example, I am taking stud.data. What is that? Stud.data. What is stud.data? Come on, minimum knowledge is required. File name. Anything you want to store it into hard disk, you must give some name. Why some name? Tomorrow I want to open, day after tomorrow I want to open after 20 days. So definitely I need to use some type of name. What is the file name? What is the file name? It is a named location. It is the named location in where? Secondary memory. Secondary memory. It is a named location in secondary memory. I hope you understood this word. I hope you understand this word. It is a named location in which memory, students? It is a file name. Named location in which memory? Secondary memory. Secondary memory. What is the file name? File names are resides in where? First of all, file names are resides in where? Secondary memory. What is the technically file name is considered as? Named location in which memory? Yes. Now today I'm going to keep this data. Today I'm going to keep this data in which memory? Secondary memory. In the form of what? File. In that file, the data will be available. 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 So here how the data will be available? 10. Next is called ROM. Next is called 45.56. 45.56. It is called, dear student, maybe you are aware of it. It is called one record. First time you are hearing these statements. What it is called? Record. Spell out. Record. It is called record. Say, what is this? Record. What is this data is called? What is this data is called? Object data or not? This is known as list object or tuple object or set object or frozen set object, whatever it is. This is called object data. Resides in where? Main memory. Such a type of object data sending to which memory? File of which memory? Secondary memory. And that object data becoming what? Record. Record 1. That is called record 1. Another data is there. In the while loop, I will keep the data. In the main memory, I will keep the while loop. I will go on keeping my data. Second data is also coming. Second data 20. Something like Raj. Something like Raj. So 22.22. This is called one more record. Next 30. Something like Vij. Something like Vij. Something here I am writing 44.44. Something like 40. Something like 40. Something like Pij. So I'm writing something like, 22.2, 22.33. Like that, I'm just going on taking. If you understand, my dear students, carefully, this is called what, record 2, record 2. This is called record 3, record 3. This is called record 3. So on, I am having. This is called record 2. So on, I am having. N number of records are available. N number of records are available. This is called record N. Record N. N number of records are available. So I am saying that record N. I am taking record N. Did you understand, students? Tell me, what do you mean by file? Can anybody can answer my question? Don't try to answer whatever you know. Try to understand the things and then try to answer it. What is meant by file? I will see online students can answer. What is the definition of file? Come on. Collection of records. Collection of. What is the use of file? Definition of file completely different. What is the use of files? Persistency achieving. What is the definition of file? Collection of records. What is the file name? It is the named location in secondary memory. Everything is so clear from my side. If you don't concentrate, I can't do anything. What is the file name technically? It is the named location in secondary memory. What is the purpose of files? To store the data permanently. What is the use of, what is the definition of file? Collection of records. Three things. Definition of file, technically file name is, and use of file. Right. Coming to the point back. After that, this we are going to transfer the data. This is about what? View of objects of which memory? Main memory. Objects, view of objects of main memory, and what? Secondary memory. Secondary memory. View of objects of main memory and what memory? Secondary memory. View of objects of main memory and secondary memory. I hope that you are understanding about this point. View of what? View of, I am giving the clarity here. I am giving the clarity here. Objects of main memory will become what? Objects of main memory will become what? A record. And record, if I bring it from main memory, if I bring my object, it is becoming a record. If I bring the record from secondary file of secondary memory into the main memory, which is becoming what? Object. So tell me, what do you understand with this explanation? Hence, come on, what did you understand with this explanation? Hence, quickly, every object of which memory? Main memory becomes as a record, becomes as a record in file of, record in file of which memory? Secondary memory, and vice versa. And vice versa. Did you understand this word, ma? Means every record will become main memory also. Clear? This is how much important this point, I can't imagine it. Every object data will become what? Every object data of main memory will become what? Record. Record it will become. Okay, well. And every record of file of secondary memory will become what? Object in which memory? That's it. If this point is clear, there is no stuff for you. You will understand very perfectly. This is the most important. Such a type of flow between main memory and secondary memory is called what? Stream, we can call. Stream. S-T-R-E-A-M. Come on, go back to the point. Now I am writing. Come on, fast. What is the definition of file? A file is a collection of, a file is a collection of what? Records. Well, A file is a collection of records. Come on, from where the record is becoming? Tell something about a file name. A file name is one of the a file name is one of the named location is one of the named location in which memory? Secondary memory. Secondary memory. Always keep in mind secondary memory. Okay, well, next I'm going to talk about it. Files of any language. Files of any programming language resides in which memory, guys? Secondary memory. Generally, students are facing a lot of difficulty in understanding small funda. They don't know the difference basically main memory and secondary memory properly. Main memory is nothing but what? General tendency. Even in my personal opinion, your brain is called what? Main memory. Your notes is called secondary memory. Why brain is called main memory? Because you will forget once one day is over. BTech first year completed, BTech exams written. Did you remember BTech subjects? No. Second year exams over, gone. Third year exams over, subject gone. Fourth year exams over, clean and green. Am I correct? So I will ask online students also, is it correct or not? Is it correct, students? BTech 4 years over, do you have any subject in your brain? No. Suryan, you remember? Huh? No. So always correct, sir. Okay. Absolutely correct, sir. Soumya, very good, ma. So Narayana, am I correct? Narayana, you tell me, am I correct? Did you remember all 4 years? Okay. Suryan, very good, very good. Right. Only thing is, programmatically, if you are very sound, you can remember. And of course, you are not remembering even program also. Ankit is remembering, it seems. Yeah, I know. Definitely, you are remembering even your LKG level subject also. I already understood. Okay. Okay, Ankit, you are remembering. I know Ankit is remembering even 5th class mathematics also. I know he is remembering. Ankit, can I ask one question in 5th class mathematics? So coming to the point of it. Okay. Okay, not subject. You are remembering when you bunking. That also you are not remembering, I am saying. That also you are not remembering the subject. Suppose we did not go to the class some days. Did you remember that? When I am not remembering, you are not remembering, everybody is not remembering. Ankit is remembering because Ankit is our special student. He is a special guest for us. Right. So coming to the point of it. Ankit, are you remembering when you bunked your classes? Then you are saying that, coming to the point of it. So when I say that, you just take that point, it is real. Are we remembering that? You are not remembering, I am not remembering. Okay, na? So that's why daily we will bring what? Book, na? So what we do immediately, we will mention that points in the notes. So even we forget, we can open our notes and then we can read out once again into our brain. So say that files of any programming language resides in which memory? Secondary memory. A file name can be considered as what only? Named location in which memory? Secondary memory. My dear students, what do you know about files if somebody asks you? Tell me, file is a collection of what? A file name is one of the named location in which memory? Secondary memory. Files of any programming language resides in where? Right. Files of any programming language resides in main memory only. So when file is coming, what do you understand? When file is coming, what do you understand? It is residing in secondary memory. It contains collection of records. It is having one name, whose name contains our data to persist for a long time until we delete that file. Am I correct? So I'm going to consider one thing. In files programming, I'm going to give you conclusion. In files programming, every object data becomes what? A record, becomes a record in a file of which memory? Of which memory? Secondary memory. And every record, I'm writing in detail, every record of what? File of secondary memory will become an object, in where? Main memory. So there is a flow between which memory to which memory? There is a flow between which memory to which memory? Main memory and secondary memory. There is a flow between main memory and secondary memory. So I hope that it is going to be more clear for you. It is going to be more clear for you about main memory and secondary memory. There is a much flow between that. So hence this points indicates that it is called one type of stream we can call. The flow between main memory and secondary memory is called what? Stream. So I'm going to give you the one. Sometimes people are asking, one or two times I come to know in some FAQs, I come to know this definition. Definition of what? Stream. What is the definition of stream? The flow of data. The flow of data between main memory and what? File of secondary memory. File of which memory? Secondary memory is called what? Stream. I hope it is more clear. The flow of data between main memory and file of secondary memory is called stream. Clear is there? Fine. Tell me, let me put one or two questions here. By default, object data present in where? Quickly. Which memory? Right, main memory. Which is temporary or permanent? Temporary. Online students, answer my question. Quickly answer it. Temporary. Temporary data, is it recommended? No. So every temporary data need to store permanently. To store the data permanently, how many approaches are there? Two approaches are there. What is the first approach? Files and database softwares. Files and what is the use of files? To store the data permanently. Where files are residing? Secondary memory. What is the file name? Named location in secondary memory. It is the named location in, right. Objects resides in dash main memory. Files resides in where? The flow between file and object of main memory and secondary memory is called what? That's it. Clarity is there? Your brain is called what? Main memory. Your notes is called, that is the flow, subject flow is there between these two components. I hope you are understanding what I'm going to talk. Shall I move forward? Yes. Now I'm going to enter into the next. This is comes under persistent application development importance. There I set what is the files concept. How many definition of files I set. Definition of stream also is set. Now it is a time to see, to go for operations on files. Operations on files, I am going to talk about it. Operations on files, I am going to explain. Operations on files, I am going to explain. So let us talk about operations on files. Very simple. Right. Yes, ma. Pooja, you need to know on. Okay. So no problem, ma. Whatever questions I'm asking, feel that if you know the answers, not a problem. Even if you don't answer fast also, no problem. Okay, na? So now I am going for operations on files. So what are the operations we do on files? Let us take it very carefully. In this place, look at that. Beginning, data will present in where? Main memory. You see two types of diagrams I wrote it. Beginning, data will present in which memory? Main memory. Main memory. Which is called which data? Temporary data. Object data present in main memory. Temporary data. Okay, na? Fine. Such temporary data is of no use. We want to make the data to be permanent. What you will do there, you tell me. We will know. Once again, this is where you will get confused once again. Of course, I don't know. Files are very simple actually. There are 6 points are there. Only 6 points. C language, C++, Java, .NET, Python, only 6 points. By default, data we are getting from where? Keyboard. Enter into where? Main memory. The data is temporary because it is present in main memory in the form of object. Then next I want to store the data permanently. What are you doing? You tell me. We transfer object data into where? File of secondary memory. File of, that is known as write operation we can call. Write operation. Writing means saving it permanently. That is comes under writing, not reading. Generally student will feel read. There is a wrong answer. Object data, see the diagram on the screen. Object data present in where? Where are you transferring? No, secondary memory is a blender. File of secondary memory. Only secondary memory is a blender. File of secondary memory. By default, where is the data present? That is also blender. Object of main memory. Object of only main memory will not store. Object of that data stored permanently in where? Files of secondary memory. That is called what? Write operation. Writing. Simple. Personal opinion you take it. Whenever I explain that data will be entered into your brain, I say write the notes, I said. When I say write the notes, you will do what? Transferring your brain data into your notes or not? What operation it is? Write operation. Okay, data written. 3 days over, 4 days over, 10 days over. Tomorrow there is an interview. What you will do? Open your notes and get the data into where again? Into your brain. Or will you go to interview and give the directly notes? You ask a question and read my notes, you will get the answers. So I can do the same thing in the interview also. Will you do like that? No. So definitely I must do which operation? Read operation. Once again, I was stored my data permanently in where? Files. I need to go for reading the data. I need to go for modifying the data. I need to do some operation on that. To do the operation on that, I cannot put my head into secondary memory. I cannot put our head into secondary memory. I cannot do that where my data is stored. Definitely I have to bring my data into where? Main memory. In main memory only modification has to be taken place. So to get the data to be modified in the files of secondary memory, I have to read the data into main memory or not? What is that operation called? Reading. So in reading, what is happening? Transferring the record from secondary memory into object of main memory. Which operation? Very good. Now I am going to indicate this line is called which operation, student? Very good. This is called what operation? Write operation. Write operation. This is known as which operation? Which operation this is? Read operation we can call. How many operations on files? 2 operations. One more is? Very good. Is these things are clear, students? Is these things are clear? First one is a write operation. Second one is the read operation. Is these 2 things are clear? Fine. Let us go back to this. I am going to write it. On the files, we can perform on the files, we can perform two types of operations. Two types of operations. They are, what is the first one? First one is called what? Come on, quickly. Write operation. Second one is called what? Read operation. Second one is read operation. What are we doing in read operation? What are we doing in write operation? I want to go for it. Write operation. First one I am going to talk about the write operation. First one I am going to talk about the write operation. So let us do what is happening in write operation. Second one I will go for what? Second one I will go for what? Read operation I will take it. So I am going to talk about read operation. So say this one read operation I am going to take. Second is called read operation. Well, so now I am going to give a clarity on this area. Now I am going to give a clarity on this area. I am going to take it. So start with this. What is the use of write operation? The purpose of write operation, by this time you must understand the purpose of which operation? Write operation is that to transfer what? To transfer or save the object data of which memory? Main memory, as a record in the file of which memory? Yes, secondary memory. This is the main aim of what? Write operation. What are the steps in write operation? Steps to perform which operation? Write operation. What are the steps to perform write operation? I said write the notes. What will do the first step? What is the first step? Choose the notes. That is, choose what name? File name. Choose what name? File name. First point is that. Second one is what? Open the file name. Open the file name. In which mode? Come on, students. Write mode. Open the file name in write mode. I am going to discuss what are the file opening modes. How many file opening modes are there? In the indexing only is set. R, W, A plus, R plus, X plus, etc. These are the various file opening modes or not? One of the mode I am using to open the file in which mode? First understand the concept. First concept understanding is important. Programming is left hand, left finger. Third one is what? I am choosing the file name. That is, I opened the notes. My notes is opened in write mode. Next I'll do what? Easy. Perform what operations? Perform cycle of which operations? Write operations. Perform cycle of which operations? Write operations. First value, second value, third value, fourth value. I am going on writing the data to the file until my number of operations are complete or not. So come to the point of it. Choose the file name. Open the file name in write mode. Perform the cycle of write operations. Is it clear? Good. While we are performing, I am writing one important statement. While we are performing write operations, while we are performing write operations, we get the following. We get the following exceptions. Exceptions will come. Already exception handling is over. I'm going to get these exceptions in the class. One is called what? EOF error. One is, instead of that, first I will write IO error. IO error. I'll explain in the class. Second one is called what, you know? Second one is OS error. Next, the third one we are going to get file exist error. File exist error. These are the three exceptions coming in write operation. I will show them practically in the class. Zero division error is coming when the denominator is zero. When the denominator is zero is called reason, and zero division error is called class. Like that, for every exception, there is one reason is there. Invalid number converting into a valid numerical number, value error. Invalid arguments you are passing, that is called what? Type error. Invalid key you are passing, it is called what? Key error. Invalid index you are passing, which is called what error? Index error. Like that, for every exception, there is one reason is there. Did you understand? I will show you these reasons and I will tell you that. But remember that OS error, file exist error, IO error. These are the things I am going to show in the class. Fine. Coming to next, which operation? Read operation I am going to get it. What is the use of read operation? Reading from where to where? File of secondary memory into object of main memory. The purpose of read operation is that I am going to write it here. The purpose of read operation, the purpose of which operation? Read operation is that to transfer or read the record from where? File of secondary memory from where? File of secondary memory into the, very good, into the object of which memory? Main memory. Into the object of main memory is called which one? To transfer or read the record from the file of secondary memory into the object of main memory is called what? Read operation purpose. How many steps are there? I am going to write it. See students, steps I am going to give you. What is the first step I am going to give you? Choose what name? Choose the file name. Which name? File name. Second one I am going to choose, open the file name. Easy, you can say very easily. Open the file name in which mode? Read mode. I have some separate modes are there. 7 modes are there. Some of the modes I will use. Well, next what you will do? There what are you doing? You are writing the first line, second line, third line, fourth line, fifth line. I will go on writing until my sir is going on dictating the notes. So your file is containing 100 values. First value, second value, third value, fourth value. I go on reading until end of file is taking place or not. Yes, easy students. Perform what is this? Cycle of which operations? Read operations. Perform cycle of read operations. Perform cycle of read operations. Perform cycle of read operations. Cycle of read operations. What are we doing now? While we are performing which operations? Read operations, write operations, we get the following. We get the following operations. While we are performing which operations? Read operations. While we are performing read operations, we get the following exceptions. What is the first one? File not found error. I will explain that. File not found error. I am choosing the file name and I am opening into which mode? When you are opening the file name in read mode means the file must exist already or not? The file must exist already. So that file is not there. You will get which error? That is number one. Second one, you are going to get it EOF error. Spell out. These are the exceptions which are coming in which one? These are the exceptions coming in which part? Read operation. How many operations on the files? 4. 4, where it is 4? You only said 4. Yeah. Yes. You said 3 and then showing 2. 2. How many steps on the files? How many steps in read operation? 3. So coming to the point, how many operations on the files? 2. How many steps in write operation? Number 1, choose the file name, open it into right. Open the file name in which mode? Perform cycle of right. While you are performing write operation, we are getting some exceptions. One is what? Yeah, I will show all these things practically in the class. Regarding exceptions, don't worry, but try to remember it. Next, coming to where? Read operation. What is the use of read operation? Transferring the data from file of secondary memory into main memory is the operation of what? Read. How many steps? Choose the file name, open the file name in read mode, cycle of read operation. While we are performing read operation, we get the following exceptions. File not found error, EOF error. These are the another things. This is called which one? Operations on files. So next, this is about operations on files. Next, we are understanding. Dear students, up to here, are you understanding? Karthik, last class, I did not share. Last class, I did not share. ATM operation. Okay. Karthik, definitely I will share. Today itself, I will share. After the class is over, I will share it. Definitely, I will share the notes. Maybe by mistake, I did not share. Don't mind for that. I will share today. Okay. Did you understand, students, today? So what is the time we gave you? Importance of files, types of applications, and next I said persistent applications by using what? Files. Persistent application development by using files in Python. Files in Python. Next one, persistent application development by using database in Python. This is files in Python, right? Definition of file also, I said definition of stream also. Later after that, I will go for what? This is operations on files. So I'll stop the class, and in next class when I come back, I'll go for what? File opening modes I will explain. Programming I will tell you. First half an hour I will explain library. Next I will go for the programming part. Okay, so I'll stop the class. Tomorrow class I'll go for programming almost. So don't miss tomorrow's class. It's important, right, students? So I hope students in the online, I hope you understand. So tomorrow we will go for upload this notes I will upload. Tomorrow I will go for the programming. Yeah, last class notes plus today's notes I will upload. Don't miss tomorrow class, right? Thank you. Good day. All the best.